Are you wanting to use Facebook ads, but you're afraid of losing a lot of money? Well, you are not alone. Well, watch to learn these 3 tips that I put into practice to advertise my membership, even when I was only making a couple $100s a month. I want you to stay tuned for all 3 of these tips because that final tip is so essential to your growth as a membership with using ads. So we often tell beginners in the online entrepreneurial space to kind of start out with organic, right? To build an audience. So when I first started, I've always used ads, even from probably day 3 of me having an online business. So this is actually one of my very first ads. It wasn't the first one, but one of the early ones. This particular ad reached about 288,000 different people. I spent about $12,000 on it in less than a year. So I just kept going because it was so successful. You can see there that there are some audiences that worked better than others. I tested multiple audiences. You know, some got 0 leads to 5 leads, others got hundreds of leads. So I ended up with thousands of leads. And it was just a short 3-minute video about my business. But I also tried organic. So with my organic, I was posting to Instagram, as often as I could. At the time when I first started, I was, still working full time. But if I could, even when I stopped working full time and I was posting every day, I wasn't seeing a huge growth in my followers. I was posting to my stories and really trying to do everything I could to make my account, active and engaging. And then Reels came along and I started making the Reels and I did see some increase in followers there, but it did not change the increase in my membership. I just wasn't getting the type of people to start following me who would actually be interested in my membership. So that is definitely a faux pas to tell people to start out organically. And so what I did is I went back to what I knew worked and I started just running ads. And that was my primary focus, was just to focus on the profitable task, which running ads is. And organic is basically secondary. It's a second thought, right? It's repurposed content from the other things that I do that are more profitable than just organic. And so my very first tip is around budgeting for your lead ads. Okay, so this question comes from Marshall G. How can you be profitable while running Facebook ads to get leads and members? It seems to me that the cost of Facebook ads would really eat up any profits that you make if your membership price is low. And I completely get that, Marshall. I actually struggled with that myself when I first started out. When I finally figured out how to calculate profit, then I was in the money game. Ultimately, with memberships, the very first thing that you really need to know is the lifetime value of a member, right? How much on average does a member spend with you over the lifetime that they are actually with you? And when you know the lifetime value of a member, then you know how much money you are willing to spend to acquire a lead, to acquire a member, because then you can kind of calculate how much is it that I'm paying to get them and how much of it is actually profit. So if you want that actual formula, I do teach that inside the Membership Growth Club. You can find that link down below. Figuring that out really helped me to know when I would actually turn a profit by running ads, and then I just started cranking it up and kept on running those ads. Okay, tip number 2 is knowing when to turn your ads off and when to scale your ads, okay? So I actually look back at a lot of ads that I ran a long time ago that I am kicking myself because I was turning them off because I felt uncomfortable, right? I was like, oh my gosh, I'm spending more money than what I think I should spend. I didn't know. I didn't have any real budget, in mind or calculation in mind. I was just kind of guessing about how much I was willing to pay per lead. And I was turning ads off that were actually profitable. So that's why it's really important to know that formula and to know how much you can really spend, because I think back and think, if I had just scaled those things up. So when you are turning your ads off, right, you basically need to set up your ad in such a way that you have different ad sets, because when you show your ad to different types of people and different audiences, one audience might perform better than another. And so if that particular audience is not profitable, turn it off. If one other audience is super profitable and you're starting to see, oh my gosh, I'm in like the 50% profit zone, that is an ad that you want to turn up. And there's even a way to calculate specifically how much profit, like what is that profit percentage that you're gonna make. And if you're in that 50%, even 40%, 30%, crank that thing up, because it's going to start to grow your membership even faster. And just a quick reminder that all of these tips are geared towards Facebook and Instagram ads, right? But in order to truly grow a membership, it does take a full funnel. So if you want to have a full funnel that will actually scale your membership, you can download mine for free. It's my membership scaling roadmap. Just go to increaseyourmembers.com/roadmap. And then the final tip, tip number 3, is using retargeting ads. And the real key is high frequency and low cost. So one of the mistakes that I made early on in retargeting, I was basically blasting my retarget ad to anybody and everybody who knew me, instead of being very strategic and very specific about who I was spending more money on to show my ad to. And so now I know the right way to do it, which is to really take a look at who are the people who are showing high levels of intent, towards you and your business. And what are different indicators? Are they watching a lot of your video? Are they clicking on certain things? Did they opt in a recent, time frame? Those are the folks that you want to get back in front of and stay in front of. There's such thing as a customer journey. So everyone who comes in contact with your business from the very first, start, they are just now aware that you exist, and all of them won't necessarily become a member right away. But if you keep your message in front of them, then when they are ready to join, when they do feel like they know, like, and trust you enough, which is really the whole point of retargeting, then you'll be right there in front of them for them to make that decision to actually join your membership. It's about staying in front of the right people, and it doesn't take a lot of money to do that. And truthfully, when you really narrow it down and only get back in front of those very specific people, then there's more of a guarantee that they actually see your ad, and there's more of a guarantee that that ad is going to get put back in front of them more than one time as reminders, as more opportunities for them to take that next step with you. Investing in yourself and investing in your business is investing in your future, your freedom, your time, all of that, right? You get all of that back. Go ahead and hit that like button if you like this video, and you can subscribe so that you get these videos delivered to you as soon as they are released, and I will see you on the next one.